Yeah, I do it for my people and my family and the ones who say they understand me. Yeah, I see you and I see you. We gon' make it to the top, that's what we do. Tell them like, black is the new green. Black is the new green. We gon' make it to the top, we gon' live our dream. Shout out to the ones who doubt me. I'm a strong black king, tell them crown me. Beat the odds, leave them mad, now they frowning. I be swimming in the money like I'm drowning. Black is the new green. Black is the new green.
Hi guys, welcome to Black is the New Green, where we focus on Black entrepreneurs, Black founders, right here for you every week. I'm really excited to be here today. My name is Michelle Taylor Willis, and if you're not familiar, Radivision.com is where you can find Black is the New Green. Radivision.com is the platform for entrepreneurs where you can find a universe of programming built for the startup world, built for the entrepreneurial world. And you can learn exactly, or be inspired, I should say, about exactly what you want to do and how you can do it, learning from the nation's best, the immediate Black founders, Black investors, incubators, accelerators, everybody from top to bottom. And so having said that, I'm very excited to introduce our guest for today, and she looks so beautiful.
Thank you.
It's Women's History Month, so we are celebrating women all month long. And so Monique Debose is with us today, singer, playwright, coach, which I love, and I can't wait to talk about your non-traditional and unconventional approach to this journey that so many of our women and our creatives are on. So thank you so much for joining today. Thank you for being an incredible founder in a different type of space than when we think about founders and entrepreneurs. And welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I love that. I'm really excited to be here, and I look forward to talking about everything today.
Yes, well, you look amazing, so let me just say that.
Well, right back at you.
Well, thank you. I do what I can, friend. I do what I can. All right, so I want to start off by just letting people know exactly who you are and what you do. And I want to talk a little bit about MDB to start off. So you want to let our audience know what that is?
Sure. Yeah. So I started a company called Mdb Productions, which is a hub of coaching, creativity, and producing experiences for people in service to really owning all of the parts of themselves. So we have coaching programs that run through it. All of the art and music that I create runs through it, all in service to helping people own all the parts of themselves.
So I love how you say own all the parts of themselves. And I've heard you say, once you do that, there's a freedom that kind of happens. It's like it's like a releasing, or like almost maybe this cathartic experience. Is that a good way to describe it?
That's a great way to describe it. One of the tenets it's built on is when we are hiding parts of ourselves, whether it's because we've been told by our moms and dads that if you do this, you will be in trouble, even though it might be who you are. And I have an 8-year-old right now who I am really walking that line with. But our society also says, and specifically, I'm speaking now for Black people in our society as well. We have, we know how to code switch. We know how to present here, but be this way here. And what I'm all about is finding a way to grow our nervous system so that we can own all of who we are, have no shame around who we are or the parts of ourselves that we've been told are not right, so that we can use our energy to really do what we're here for, what our life's purpose is.
So it's interesting that you've built this entrepreneurial model around this, right? Mm-hmm. Which is why you're here, right? Because we talk about all the different ways that you can start a business basically around this kind of like startup concept, regardless of the industry. And I love it when we have people like in the entertainment, music, this these worlds, because when we think about these spaces, we don't typically think of them as businesses, right? Like
Exactly.
some people might say, Monique is a singer, right? She's talent. She's an actress. She's talent, right? They don't think of Monique as a business owner,
Yeah.
right? As a startup female. And so I want to kind of build that out and talk about how you decided to take your passion for singing and songwriting and for changing the world and develop an entrepreneurial model or concept around that. That was a loaded question. Are you
Oh, I
following
love the question, because as you were loading the question,
me?
um, you had me reflect on, oh yeah, I think for a while I thought I was just talent. And I'm putting that just there with air quotes, because talent is talent.
Yeah,
You can't
absolutely.
just talent.
Yeah.
But I thought that's all that I was. And so I was really at the mercy and at the whim of whoever had the budget, uh, whoever was able to really make the production happen, whatever the production was, whether it be a piece of music, whether it be a play, whether it be a television show. And I also have a master's degree in spiritual psychology. So I was working my process with the tools that I've learned through that this whole way through. And I started seeing that people were coming to me, coming to my shows, coming to my performances to get more than entertainment.
Mm,
And it was a powerful recognition, because people wanted a bigger chunk of what I was offering. And so I combined the two of, let me use my art and let me use my skills as a coach to really kind of build out programs for people. And it helped me as an independent artist as well, because I was in that space of, oh, I guess maybe I'm not talented, or maybe I'm not, because I wasn't landing the things that maybe I thought were definitions of success.
right.
And
Right.
so really understanding what your lane is and what your talents are, I was able to pull in my coaching, because that's what people really love. They liked the vibration of what I was creating. So they wanted to spend more time in that space. So I said yes to that. And it's been a really fruitful and healing experience for me. So I'm learning as I'm growing the business and as I'm teaching.
Right. So walk me through how you matched your passion with monetization,
Yeah.
and right?
Yeah.
Because
No, that's the thing.
yeah, because passion doesn't pay the bills, but it could if you do it right. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. So um I've done quite a few different things. So I have a tenet that I really live by, that I offer people, is I support people using their small voice, lowercase v voice, to express their big voice, their uppercase V voice, what they're here to do.
I'm
So
glad you said that, because that was one of my questions. So you're doing my job for me, Monique. Thank you.
I am here to be of service. So walking with that, people would come to me because I'd also share vulnerably about my journey and my experience to people. So I was using social media, I was using my newsletter, bringing people in. When I had my first event, nobody showed up. Nobody. I mean, obviously this is pre-pandemic, like years ago, but nobody showed up. But what I do know about being somebody who is a business owner and an entrepreneur, you have to keep showing up.
Right.
Consistency is everything.
Right.
But people would come and say, I don't really know how to sing. I'm not a singer, but I want to be able to like share more about myself. Or I'm working on this project and I feel stuck in this way because I don't know how to like access my voice. And I would start to work with people. I would write music for people in our work together. So we'd have sessions together, and I'd go away and create a song from the session for them just to help them keep moving forward. So showing up consistently, finding an in with people. I think in our culture today too, everything is pretty much at our fingertips. Like we don't really have to pay for much to get entertainment. So adding the value of your life will be better. You will have value. You will gain value from this experience, I think has allowed people to really still show up and put some money in my pocket.
Right. And I love what you said. The first event, no one showed up. Like, see, these are the nuggets that people need to hear, you know, and I you've heard the saying a lot. People know my glory, they see my glory, but they don't know my story. So
Mhm.
they see you award-winning jazz artist, right?
Mhm.
And they're like, this woman, she's amazing. She's made it, right? And they just want to be like, okay, I just want to be like her. And to know that for a long time, nobody was showing up.
Mhm.
Nobody was paying you to do anything. And because you knew deep down in your soul that this journey of yours had to happen so that you could eventually take other people
Mhm.
on their journeys, and that you just had to stay the course.
Mhm.
And at some point, it popped.
It's still popping. I'm gonna be real. I mean, let's keep being real for the people. I'm still popping. You know what I mean? It's the bag is in the microwave. We got to go 3 minutes. I'm probably at 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I really want that to be known. It's a consistent, constant experience. And I ride the wave of it. You know, I just put out an album independently last August rather. It got into the Grammy process, which was amazing as an independent artist. And with that album, I took 7 of those songs and created a whole program for women. And I had women from around the world join it. But learning like the business pieces of really enrolling people, I'll be honest, it's not super sexy to me. I don't love it, but I understand the value of it. So understanding the value of it and what I'm trying to attain allows me to work through that discomfort or I'd rather just write songs.
Yeah.
Let me just sing to you. You got to get people in the door. So yeah.
So let's talk about that a little bit. I think we have a portion of your video rally call, right? That we're going to show a piece of that. And then I can't wait because I think what you were referring to with this project was the Brown Beauty project, right? Which we're going to close on. So I can't wait for people to see that. But let's talk about how you support people's journey through your music. So it's not entertainment for you, right? This is showing people how to use their voice, that purpose, that passion, but you do it through this musical piece. How do you do that, and how does that work for people? What does that journey look like?
So people will first witness the music. They will enjoy the music. I will let them. What I found works best for me is I have to let people in on my story. I have to let people in on my strengths, but also my insecurities, my accomplishments, but also my failures. And I think the world is really taking a huge turn at this point to start acknowledging that we are human.
Right.
And that, you know, the people who are having the greatest success aren't just nothing's been a problem for them. So I let them in on that. And then I offer different exercises. I offer different prompts. I do it in community a lot of the time. I do work with people one-on-one. I find that being in community is such a wonderful thing too, because people can say, oh, well, she's there and I can identify with that. Oh, that person's a little further along, so I'm going to watch that. Or, oh, that person's where I used to be. Let me support them. And that activates self-esteem and confidence. So having that community is also really important for people. And then we talk about goals. So it's, just push up your sleeves and like, what are you here to do? So what's the biggest thing you've ever visioned? And what's the tiniest step we can take? Really supporting people and understanding that Nothing happens overnight, and that we are working consistently. And the music just keeps infusing. I also have a play called Mulatto Math, Summing Up the Race Equation in America.
Dude, I don't even need to be here. You
Girl,
just keep
you need to be
talking.
here because community is important.
I'm like looking at my next question, and you're like mulatto math. Thank you.
So Mulatto Math, I had a talk back at every show. And it was so powerful for people. People came in through the guise of, oh, this seems interesting, or, oh, I want to go see this artist. And one of the things I love about art is that we don't have our guard up most of the time
Right.
when we're,
Well,
when
you
we-
can't.
when we're
You
experiencing
can't.
art.
Right? How
We
can
just
you?
think of it as a safe, it's not something that's going to rattle us. I don't think, as if I said to you, let's sit down and talk about race and the inequities in the United States, or let's talk about, people are going to be like, I don't know if I want to do that. Not everybody.
Right. That's right.
Coming in to see some art and having the art really pose the questions, the talkbacks would be phenomenal. And I ended up doing diversity, equity, and inclusion work from that show, using pieces of that show for adults as well as like teenagers. It was wonderful. So I used my own life story and create art, and that art becomes a tool to help others.
And explain for our viewers, Monique, exactly what mulatto math is. What is that show, or what did it start off as? Because it's manifested now into.
Yes. So Mulatto Math, Summing Up the Race Equation in America is a show I wrote about my experiences being a mixed person. I got a dad from Wilmington, North Carolina, and a mom from a black dad from North Carolina, a white Irish mom from upstate New York. And those two came together and created a whole family. And I walk people through my journey with race and identity, being from those two worlds, and look at the United States. Now, this play came out before 2020. I mean, mind you, we've had 2020s before.
Sure.
But this play came out in 2018. So I'm actually in the process right now of, re-envisioning it, or visioning it rather, for where we are now, and putting it into a digital series, and hoping that I will collaborate with a great production company and continue to do this work and use it for good.
So what was the challenge there? Right? I mean, you're black, because we know that the line, right?
Mhm.
One drop of Negro blood makes you a Negro. So when
Mhm.
people see you, they see a black woman,
Mhm.
right? What was the challenge in entering this space, and especially embarking on, like, head on, you took on race, diversity, inclusion in your music, in your theater, and everything you've done? And then in terms of starting this business, like, I don't know if you did any fundraising to get this thing going, if this came, what were the challenges as a black woman in that?
Well, I mean, I don't know where to start. I don't know
You're like,
where.
which one?
One of the pieces that I will say that really has been, and at times shows up still, because I'm up leveling now, and so I can feel it again, is that questioning myself because of what our world has told us we can do, understanding that that is not truth, but also having to like wipe out and clean out my system to live what is truth. So that's one piece. I had a really great funding partner who believes in the work, and who really is supportive of the work. So that happened through friendship, and in some ways, it's been a wonderful collaboration. And sometimes really the thing that for me has been a challenge is, am I letting myself continue to really hold and see the vision? Do I have the strength to keep doing it? Because it's edgy work for me. It is. It comes up against, because I feel like what we teach, we need to learn most. I think that's why we teach what we teach a lot of times. It's our own.
Say that again. Say
Yeah, I
that.
didn't say it as gracefully as I wanted.
No,
The
it's
things
perfect.
we teach are the things we need to learn the most. And it makes sense in my journey, and I think in a lot of people, because it's the thing. It's like the scab. It's the thing we keep wanting to pick at. It's we want to understand it. And so as we're on our and as we're going deep into it, others want to like learn from it. Does that make sense?
It does. It's profound. I wrote it down because I was like, I feel like I'm going to put it in the comments.
Okay.
So yeah, so you're hitting all these challenges, but you have a great funding partner, somebody who believes in the vision. We talk about this a lot. Finding people who are smarter than you, who believe in what you're doing,
Yeah.
that will wrap their arms around you. Now, do you mind me asking, is your funding partner Black as well, or are they?
He is not.
Yeah, and that help. That's help. I mean, like there's diversity, right? It
Yeah.
can go both ways,
Yep.
right? And I know a lot of Black founders have said it helps to cross the line sometimes, and right, and to really be open-minded in who you have on board, because of course you're thinking, yeah, for the culture, for the community, everybody's got to be, but there's a community, to your point, in this diversity piece that goes both ways.
Yes. I'm experiencing you as frozen right now. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Are we back?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, great.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, yes. Okay. And this is the piece that I think is a really big part of my work as well. I am about people owning all of the parts of themselves. And for me, that means also owning all of the history of who I am. So I find it ironic, but not surprising that my team is diverse in that sense, because that is who I am. I am a Black woman. I am a mixed woman. I am a daughter of a white Irish mother. I am the daughter of a Black African-American man. And my family reaches, I've got Filipino cousins, Japanese cousins. I've got Jamaican, Nigerian family. Like I'm really holding that space so that we all get to show up. Everybody, Black people included. Like you show up fully as you are.
Right. And that's one of the reasons I think I really like Rally Call, because it's like we're calling everybody to this cause, right? Everybody's called to make sure that the mission gets completed, so to speak. That's what I think. When I watch a video, when I hear it, that's what I think. It's like this, it's like a very strong call to action.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Do you think that's
as an artist, the music is yours once it leaves me. Once you experience it, it's yours.
Got it. I love it.
So you are right. That is a part of what the song is. There's a lyric that says, "Get rid of those papers." And I'm speaking in that moment specifically. I mean, it's on all levels, but specifically to Black people here in the United States, where myself obviously included, where I've been like, oh, is it okay for me to be here? I've had those moments, and it's like that to me is the papers of 2018 or however when I wrote that song. It's like I'm still asking for permission. Like there's no need for permission.
Right.
You own your own papers. Papers don't even exist.
You are the papers.
I am the papers.
I am the papers. Okay, so I think we've got a little bit of Rally Call. I want to play a little bit of this song in this video so our viewers can hear it. Can we go ahead and tee that up?
I'm in the fields. My body's broke, my spirit is tired. I need relief. But your God ain't the one who's taking me higher. My sovereignty's my way. Lord Jesus, forgive me. Come walk with me. Outgrow your skin, nobody no favor. There's a road where we're walking on thunder, where we all go deliver ourselves. Waiting down by the trees we hung under, so we own every part of ourselves.
Get off your knees. Get rid of those papers. The cage bird sings, and nature's song he's almost forgotten. Did you clip your wings, yeah, and take your place among the downtrodden?
Walking on Thunder. I hadn't caught that lyric before.
Mm-hmm.
We were walking on thunder. You know, you've said you use this term intersection, right? Between all of these little pieces of who you are and what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Us about that, because when I was watching that video this time, I saw the intersection that you speak of, right? I kind of like saw it manifest. Can you talk a little bit about that, what that looks like, what that means?
Yeah, it's owning all the parts of yourself. So what that means is making peace with all the things that seemingly contradict inside ourselves or in our society. It really is, there is space. I say this term a lot, growing people's nervous systems. It's not necessarily something you hear in everyday speak, but to me, it really is. I support people through all the parts of myself, through my intersectionality, to grow their nervous system, to be okay with, okay, these two qualities or these two ideas don't align seemingly, but how can I make space for all of it? So with Rally Call, yeah, I'm calling out people to step up and really own themselves. And that's, you're right, it has evolved. It didn't start with everybody, but it has evolved. Like, we all need to own our part in the world we live in. We have all contributed in some way. So make sure we're owning our parts.
And speaking of owning a part, it all, like, there is an intersection, whether it's intentional or not, right? But you were at the UN SDG Action Conference, right? Where I would assume a lot of these tenets kind of were front and center, right?
Yes, it was an amazing opportunity. I shared Rally Call with the audience, and it was an opportunity for people to be moved and transformed through music. So yeah, the Sustainable Development Goals, I think there were 17. I will have to double check. But they really speak to making this world that we all live in a better place and a sustainable one for each of us. Right. So it was really about like equity. The part that I was focused on was like equity and justice for all people.
Wow. Girl, I'm getting chills like listening to you. It's like constant inspiration, right? And apparently our audience is being inspired and empowered because we have some comments and questions that have come through. So I'm going to take a second and do some of these. Ahmed says, great show. All right, so this is from one of our Radivision viewers. What's the one thing you do every day to be successful?
I love that question. So I wouldn't say it's every day. I do my best to do it every day. I've got a set of practices that I am committed to doing. So some of it is morning pages, a gratitude journal that literally takes me 30 seconds because I'm one of those people who will look, my glass will be half empty. I gotta work to really stay in the half full world. But I have a yoga practice. I have exercise practice. Those are the things. And then I have a spiritual practice where I am repeating different affirmations, attunements for myself. So that is an everyday thing. And I kiss my babies every day.
Absolutely. I love it. And one of the things you talk about repeatedly, of course, is this freedom and owning yourself, but the transparency. I love how you even said, look, my glass is half empty before it's half full, friends. Like, I gotta work, but that's true. Like, you gotta work to stay positive sometimes. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to let the world know, like, none of this happens on accident. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there's an intentional focus to being great. Okay, how does your community inspire you?
In all sorts of ways. I run a Facebook group called Women Choosing More. And I put out a question to them yesterday, asking what are 3 things you can count on yourself for? Like,
Mm,
just what are 3 things? And hearing all of these women, again, from around the world share like the qualities that they know they can count on themselves for, inspired me to be like, oh, it's time to level up. Like it just inspired me to know that I am not alone in the world. I
right.
feel like community really lets us know that we are held, we are not alone. And when we're willing, this is a piece that I constantly have to work on as well. When we're willing to lean in and really surrender in community, I feel like doors open.
That's
But
right.
sometimes we have a challenge, like being vulnerable and saying, I feel really awkward about this. I don't know how to do this. Can
I
you
don't know
help?
how to ask for help. Is it okay to ask for help? Will I be seen as weak?
What does it mean about me if I don't have everything together?
Right.
So I do my best to be authentic with it.
You're doing a great job. In this 30 minutes, like you're killing the game on the transparency. We can check that box.
Check.
Okay, another Radical Vision viewer. So if you were to leave a legacy, she's already left a legacy. So how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as a sensuous, creative, intelligent, wise woman who inspired the world to know that who they are and who they be every day is a gift and that they must share it.
Mm.
And I want to be known as a great mother by my 2 boys.
Who you are must be shared every day. It's a great gift. How that's inspiring. Okay, I'm writing. I don't have any more space on this page, Monique.
Great.
Yeah.
Notes too.
Okay. What do you hope your fans and listeners take away with them when they listen to your music?
I hope they take away that Monique writes great music. I'll be honest, that's my human ego. More importantly, I hope they remember that they are divine beings having a human experience and that they have a right to be who they are in the world.
And I love what you said too about music. Like when you listen to my music, it's at that point it's yours. Like whatever you get from it is what you get from it. It's all about this freedom thing and this openness to own all your parts. I love that. Okay. Who are some of your musical influences?
I have so many, but one, Ella Fitzgerald, I adore just as a phenomenal woman and just vocal gymnast. Nina Simone, phenomenal woman and a woman who really understood what her music was for and really lived her life, like committed to that. That's inspiring. Marvin Gaye's I love Marvin Gaye anyway. He's just got a gorgeous buttery sound. His What's Going On album, there were still times where I'll just sit outside on a morning with the sun shining on me and just listen to the album all the way through. That's such a classic piece. I'm trying to think if I have one more I can put in the space. More recent, somewhat more recent, Jill Scott to me is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just her lyric writing, and her voice, of course, just beautiful.
Absolutely. You kind of strike me as someone that might like Janelle Monáe as well.
Oh, I love Janelle Monáe as well.
Okay. All right. I'm tracking.
Yes.
Okay. Last question. What kind of feedback have you been getting about the video for Brown Beauty, which is going to actually take us out? If you want to tee that up a little bit.
Sure. The feedback I've been getting, all positive that I've gotten. People appreciate it. People say they feel seen, even if they're not in the video. People appreciate the age of the characters in the video. I've got a 7-year-old and a 67 something or 70 something year old, and then myself kind of in the middle. So they appreciate looking at beauty and brown beauty, across the age. I'm trying to think. People appreciate it.
Love it. And tell us exactly what brown beauty is. What was the reason that you did this? You alluded to it a little bit earlier in the show.
Yeah. So Brown Beauty was a song. It's the first song you hear in Mulatto Math. I start the show with that song. And the original writings were me. Again, this is my theme. Everything until I die, I will write the same song. You'll just have different chords and maybe some different words. But it's about me owning what it means to be, at that point for the show, somebody who is of mixed descent. And it quickly grew into people, Black women of color, who have to navigate the complexities of being themselves and being in this kind of greater world that we live in. So make no mistake, I love you. I really do. Like, that is it. To me, it's kind of a prayer song. I got some feedback from some folks in the music industry who were like, we love the song. It doesn't go anywhere. And that was on purpose, because it's kind of a meditation. So it hasn't got so much love out in the world in terms of like, I don't know what you call that word, industry, but to me, it reaches the right people.
Yeah. And it's again, this, what you say, like once you hear my music, it's yours, right? Once you see my play, it's yours. Whatever you take from it is what you take from it. So the fact that you're saying that they said it doesn't go anywhere, it goes wherever you want it to go, friend.
Right?
See, I'm with you. You see how we're rocking here?
Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Okay.
All right. Well, listen, I could talk to you all day, clearly. And my time with you is up, which is unfortunate, but I have your cell phone number. So
yes, let's stay connected for sure.
Oh, we will definitely stay connected. But thank you so much for your insight, your openness and transparency, and helping people across every industry, get started, understand how to monetize, but being okay with knowing who they are, that the process doesn't always work, and you got to keep pushing through when you know that this is your passion and this is what you were put on earth to do. If somebody wants to, hire you to help them on their journey and use your music and your platforms, how do they get in contact with you? How do we follow you on socials? All of those things. Let us know.
Thank you. Yes. It has been such a pleasure to be here with you. So thank you.
Pleasure's mine.
I am, my handles for Facebook and Instagram are I am Monique Debose. So please come join me, come follow me. I also run a Facebook group called Women Choosing More. If there are any women out there who are ready to choose more, please come join us. And then I have a website, MoniqueDeboseMusic.com. So.
Awesome. And I'm going to ask you, once we play this, don't go anywhere. You stay on backstage for me. And to everybody else, thank you, thank you, thank you. This has been Black is the New Green. And I tee this up for you guys every week. And I say, it's amazing. What an incredible journey we get to take every week with these founders who have changed the game and who are blazing the trail. Again, I'm Michelle Taylor Willis, and a huge thank you to my guest today, Monique Debose. Listen, guys, if you have friends that could not make this broadcast, all you got to do is send them to radavision.com in like 1 hour or so. This thing is going to be up there and they can play it again. They can listen to it while they're working out or whatever. It's on demand. So there's no reason you or your friends cannot be inspired, right? We're Black is the New Green. We're the community where we thrive. We show you how to thrive and we build other communities, just like Monique was saying before. But most importantly, we share our stories. That's what we're doing. We're sharing stories so that you can feed off the energy of this and get the energy from these unsung heroes that are now literally singing, because Monique is a singer. And, they put it all out there and risk it all. And guess what? They're winning, which means you can too. Again, I'm Michelle Taylor Willis, and you can find me at Michelle Taylor Willis on just about everything. But most importantly, you can find me here at radavision.com every Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern Time. So for now, goodbye, but we will see you next week.
division of words breeds this beautiful girl. Division of mind, bridge to that sweet sublime. Anchored deep, so deep, deeper than that hallowed tree, and thrust so high, caught between the earth and sky. Make no mistake, I love you, I really do. Make no mistake, I love you, I really do. Make no mistake, I love you, I really do. Walking the line, master of which face to show, protector of all, counsel for the seeds that you sow, consciously choosing to forgo that quiet rest. Consistent confrontation to this call she answers. Yes. Make no mistake, I love you, I really do. Oh, make no mistake, I love you, I really do. Oh, 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 make no mistake, I love you, I really do. Brown beauty, brown beauty. Take a look at yourself. See the queen that I see. You have everything you've ever needed. No one can touch what you've got. Brown beauty, brown beauty, brown beauty.